Yo, you already
You
know.
saying we back?
We back, and King Jones in the house. This is live and direct right now. We got the
Mm,
Podfather in the house. This is our segment. We call this the Great Debate. We're just going live. We're gonna do it straight live. So there's topics I got right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do something a little different. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you pick 1 to 8, and that's what we're gonna talk about. Any topic between one to
yeah.
eight. Pick a number. Go ahead.
All right. Let's go with two then.
Okay. So the topic for today, or just the first topic, was going to be who decides what is offensive. You know what I'm saying? Very interesting topic. With everything going on, you see when people get attacked. Who decides what is offensive? I'll give you an example. Yeah. I
Mm,
was having a conversation with someone and they were basically saying it doesn't matter what you say, it's about the way someone takes it. So let's say,
yeah.
obviously I'm gonna have to make it up Nigeria. We're both Nigerian. Let's do an example. Let's say somebody
Yeah.
says something about Nigerian jollof rice. Oh, it's
Mm.
whack. It's
How
corny.
dare
It's
they?
nasty. How dare? Oh my god, I'm offended. You're
Yeah.
talking about my culture, my people. Whereas other people say, oh, you don't like it. It's not your choice. Who decides what is
Yeah.
offensive? Offended? Is it the person that takes offense? Is it the person that says something that says, you know what, looks back and says, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I was too far. Or do you think it's an
Mm.
amalgamation of different people or someone from the outside? Who decides what is offensive?
Well, I don't know because okay. So for me, there are two
Yeah.
basic things. One,
Mm-hmm.
you can't tell somebody how to react to something you
Mm-hmm.
say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that people are going to react how they're going to react, but
Mm-hmm.
now the consequences to actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I may say something that you're offended by, you now react, and your reaction might offend me, and then I may be offended, and then it just continues
Yeah.
and goes like that. But me personally, I'm all about the context in which you meant to say something. I think you can say the
Okay.
most offensive shit, but if you meant it in a open, honest way, or even like a funny way or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I can see the humor in it and look at it totally different rather than like you can tell when like a comedian says something and they're trying to because the thing about a comedian is if you don't laugh, yeah, or if nobody laughs, then that joke was a failure. Yeah, I mean he's,
Mm-hmm.
he's not he's not telling that joke that, oh, everybody gets offended but then nobody laughs. He doesn't want that.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to laugh. Yeah, I mean if he tells a joke and it's just silent and everybody's oh my god, he's bombing. Yeah, he wants you to laugh. So laughing is the intent of what he's saying. When it comes to people, it's less clear because you're just dealing with random individuals and you're not really sure. Are they trying to be cocky? Are they trying to be offensive? Are they trying to be sexist? Are they trying to be smart, funny? Who knows? But my whole thing is I'll always try and look at the intent of what you're saying. And before I get offended, I'll actually ask you to clarify what you're saying. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very slow to go to offended straight away.
Okay. The thing what
Mm,
I see with offended, yeah, is I don't have a
mm,
problem with anyone getting offended by something. You're allowed to get offended, that's fine. But it's when
mm,
someone tries to police, when they try to say, because I'm offended, I want to take lawful action when the action isn't illegal. Let me give you an example. If
mm.
I say something that someone made, let's say if I talk about someone's weight, we're taking a joke, and they go, oh, yeah, you're just
Yeah.
some gym head. And I say, oh, you're just some fat bastard. Yeah. And then, oh my God.
Mm,
Yeah, that's a fair. You're fat shaming me. You know what I'm saying? You should lose your job. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things don't correlate to me. You being offended by something that I did that
Yeah.
was not law, that was still within the context of the law, should not lead to
Yeah.
some sort of mass dismissal from something else that's got going on in my life. So I have no problem with someone being offended, even myself, but I
Mm.
do not believe that me being offended should lead to lawful or unlawful dismissals or something
Mm.
happening or you get what I mean, like you
Oh, what
getting
about like what about somebody losing their
for
job?
example. It depends. It
Okay,
depends what they said.
yeah.
It
Oh,
depends.
okay,
Give
okay.
me a scenario.
Listen, so let's take this whole pandemic thing as an
Yeah.
example. Yeah. So I think at one point they were doing like a link with a lot of people who have like bad outcomes when it comes to corona. Yeah. A lot of them was age, obesity, and like poor health and all that sort of stuff. Whatever. Yeah. So one guy said, listen, that you can actually look at the league table of like countries around Europe. Yeah. England is the fattest or like most overweight country in Europe. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And and
100%.
they, and they have the largest amount of deaths. Might there be a correlation there? Yeah. The person he was speaking to was like, no. Yeah, I mean that's offensive. Are you trying to say English people are
You're
lazy and
freezing. You're
stupid and
freezing.
fat? Ish. Well, hello. It's still record. It's still
Yeah, I'm
fine on
here.
my side. What's going on? Yeah.
It's still
So
recording. It's still recording. Go on, go on.
yeah. So
Please, people,
yes.
subscribe so the Podfather can buy new internet. Please.
Fuck off, mate. Nah, you're
I'm
freezing, bro.
what do you mean? My
Listen,
thing,
listen,
bro. I'm
listen.
the one that's yeah. I look, look. You see me? Look. There you go.
Mhm. Um, so yeah, so in that context, he's trying to find out a solution to help to stop people from dying. Yeah, but
Yeah,
then the other people decided to take offense to what he was saying.
yeah,
So that's a perfect example of what I mean by context. Yeah, in context, he wasn't trying to be offensive, but somehow they found a way to be
yeah.
offended about something that might save their lives, which is insane to me. Yeah, I mean, like sometimes, like it's the truth. Yeah, I
Mm.
mean, it just is. The more you smoke, the more you drink, the more you're overweight, whatever, the more likely this thing can affect you. I don't know,
It.
So,
But
and people are
mm,
calling it, no, you can't talk like that. It's
I
fat.
also look at the
You're
fact that
shaming, you're
some
shaming
people.
fat people and all this
Yeah.
sort of thing. You know.
Mm. The first thing is this year is that anything that people feel uncomfortable with, someone's going to look to be offended. The second thing is that the key to trying to be the least offensive as possible, if you're trying to be, is to educate yourself. I don't think you need to be a part of the situation to understand what's going on. You need to be educated. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you need to educate yourself. You need to be knowledged and knowledged up. You know what I'm saying? My words, knowledged up. Because the
Mm,
way I look at it is that there's some people that are looking to be offended. I'll give you an example. When somebody goes to, like Dave Chappelle's show, for example, they weren't listening. A lot of people, and it's not obviously everyone, but a lot of people, they were not listening to what he was trying to say, and they were straw manning. So straw manning is where they're trying to rip out the tiniest, minuscule part of what he's saying and focus that as the target audience. So let's say he says, "I support this, but I don't like this." Yeah.
mm,
Instead of or I don't like this because this doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, who's he to even give his opinion? He shouldn't even be talking. He
mm,
shut his mouth because we go through trials and tribulations that he doesn't understand. You know what I mean? So it's a straw man thing where they try and take out something because obviously they seem to be upset and they just don't want certain people talking on it. Do you know what I mean? Because I
mm,
would argue when Caitlyn Jenner was talking, no one really the pushback wasn't as much as it was for Dave Chappelle because
mm,
obviously part of that
yeah.
community within that context. That's just an example of what we're
Mm,
talking
mm,
about. So when I
yeah.
look at who decides what's offensive, I have no, like you said, no one can decide what you're offended about. You could go up to someone and say hello. What do you mean hello? Hello in my language means X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, how important, let me ask you another question. How important is language when it comes to offense? Because if two people speak the same language but different dialects, some things might be more offensive than something else. So when you said
Mm,
you speak about context, is your context like, okay, forget about what he just said. So like if you read a newspaper clipping of a guy said something, are you more, and it's a YouTube clip, or do you just say, okay, he said that's rude, or do you go to the clip of what he said and try to understand
yeah.
which way, the way he said it
Well,
and
well,
what
that's
he
the
was
thing.
saying and what's
So,
going on?
so,
Yes, in your
so we
opinion,
all
go on,
have
go on.
biases, yeah.
Yeah.
So we all have biases. So we all have things that we're triggered by, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be saying thing that catches your eye, like we're all humans. So we've all like
Mm-hmm.
based on our experiences in life, certain things are gonna trigger us more than others, yeah. So in terms of the language, when you see things like white privilege or what I mean, racism or systemic racism or this, these are like buzzwords that like send things to our brains that just spark a response, And for me, the initial response, yeah, doesn't mean I have to react. Yeah, for me, when I'm offended, the first thing I do is, I think, yeah, and I take in the offense. I feel what I'm feeling, and then I try and uh, argue from that perspective. And if I can't, then I'm like, okay, my offense was genuine. If not, I can see both sides, and this needs further investigation. It's as simple as
Mm-hmm.
that. Jordan Peterson has a line. Yeah, he goes, "To think is to risk being offensive." Yeah.
Oh yeah, I always say interview.
Anything.
Fantastic interview.
Yeah. Anything that you're thinking of that is new or is fresh or is this whatever. Listen, the first black person that came out and said, we need to end slavery. I'm sure white people are like, yo, that's offensive, yo. Yeah, I mean, like the white
It's
slave masters were
wild.
like, what do you mean? What do you mean you need to be free? No, 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 no. That's offensive. Sit back down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So everything changes, like the context in society, all that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, like it moves so quickly. Like I just think that people need to uh, like they've started saying things like, words are violence. Yeah, I mean, or like what's it called? Your speech it's harming me, it's this, it's that, all this sort of thing or whatever. And yeah, there's some hate speech out there. There's a speech to incite violence or whatever. But 99% of speech is not harming anybody. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I think people just need to uh, be less offended